Hey guys, welcome back. This is season 4 of Busy Boys Uncensored.
The bomb.
Exactly.
To freedom!
To freedom!
And I'm your host, DeMonte.
I'm Macy.
Sakani.
Ja.
Yes, and we're really happy to be back. I've missed y'all so much. And yeah, we're just going to get into a lot of different things. We're switching up a little bit this season as well. And also, we love a theme. And the theme of this episode is giving Cheetah. Cheetah.
Oh.
And on that note, we're going to say our favorite song of the Cheetah Girls, and I'll go first. So mine will come from Cheetah Girls 2, Step Up. I love the dance break, everything about it, 10 out of 10, no notes.
They ate that.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is The Party's Just Begun. It's the first song.
That was mine!
It's the first song on Cheetah Girls 2,
Yep.
which is the best movie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's mine.
You just
too.
heard that, yes?
Pardon?
Does it sound like you agree with what Macy said?
Cheetah Girls 2, yeah, it is the
But
best
you were
one.
putting up a fight last. Y'all were saying 3
You're
was the
thinking
best
about
High
last
School
time.
Musical.
Disney Channel, we did not
Girl,
talk
move
about-
on.
My bad. I
Wrong
was
and
drunk.
loud, wrong and
Honey,
loud.
what's your song?
The party's just begun. I said the same.
It is the best song.
Mine is It's Over from Cheetah Girls 2. I think that's the
Absolutely.
best vocal song.
They're so dramatic.
The Cheetah
I know
Girls.
y'all getting back together.
Please.
Don't let it be over.
Cheetah
They
Girls 2
tore.
was the best movie, and everything about it, like,
Yep.
it was such a growth factor.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
And it was like the first movie as like children, I don't know, that we at least saw like these girls chasing their dreams and traveling the world to do it. So
Yeah.
I think that was really powerful.
Yeah, while literally still doing what they want individually as well. So
Mhm.
I really enjoy it. We haven't like recorded in a while, obviously, and we need to take some time away just to like, settle things out and get ourselves together. We have so much going on. All of us like are just doing different things, but also we're still trying to like build our brand together. So yeah, we're gonna do like a little quick rundown of what we've been up to and just go from there. So recently I actually have my show. I got a grant and I have that show March 21st and 22nd. So thank you. We
That's
love
clap
free
it up.
money.
Can't
yes.
You deserve
And
it.
Thank you. I feel like that was one of the main things I put out like last year to do more of is just like creating my own work and to see it like happen so fast. Even there has been some like denies as far as like what's getting done. But delayed, never denied actually. So I'm just really thankful, praise God, all of it. And yeah, I'm excited to see the show come to fruition. It feels good. So that's mainly what I've been up to. Y'all know I've been stressed the fuck out, but it's all good stress. And I think that's another factor that goes into it as well. So yeah, very excited for that.
Amen.
Period.
I love that.
Thank you.
Well, what have I been up to? I've been working. Never been more consistent in the gym than I am now. I'm also just taking a step back and trying to figure out, stop doing so much like month-long, like no drinking for a month, and kind of just doing like trying to be more easy on myself and enjoy life a little bit more because tomorrow's not promised. And working. I'm up for a promotion, which I'm super excited about because I need that money in. Okay. And that's what I've been up to.
So for me, I recently moved back to Philly. As you guys know, my aunt was murdered back in October. So yeah, I moved back to Philly to be with my family, and it's been really hard on all of us. So yeah, so I just want to put out there that the man who murdered her is still out there, and I could use our audience's help to. If y'all see him, there's a $20,000 reward. So yeah, just call the authorities and we'll put his picture right here somewhere. And yeah, thank you.
Of course. I have been, what have I been up to? I just feel like I've been very consumed with my relationship, and I'm working on new music now. I have a new EP coming out like within the next few months that I've been working on for a while, and it's just it's the first time like the whole theme of the project is like just vulnerable songs about my dating experience, honestly. And a lot of the songs I've been working on for a while, but I just wasn't ready to put them out. So yeah, I've just been working on that, figuring out like what I want to do work-wise because I haven't been happy at my job. And yeah, that's what's been up with me.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thank you everyone for sharing. I just want to take a moment just because we all have been so like supportive of one another in this time too. And I think it just really shows like the growth of our friendship as well, like how we've just managed to do so much individually but still like cater to each other's needs like when we need it most. And when we ended abruptly, it was because we had to honor what Sakani was going through. And before anything else, like this friendship matters before putting out an episode.
Yeah.
Like so we had to take time for that, and yeah, now we're back and we're doing better, but obviously we still have to like honor the feelings that are still here. And we know like it's such a grieving process because we know your family is such a tight-knit family.
Yeah.
And I'm really sorry that you had to experience that and like that your family had to go through that.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, we're always going to be here for you.
Yeah, we're here for
Of course.
you. And we're gonna fight for justice.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. So now we actually are adding a new segment where we're gonna basically go around the table and discuss a Black queer icon, more like history kind of lesson. Y'all should know what y'all know, and we're gonna get into it. So the first one is going to be Alan Bell, and I'll start with my fun fact about him first. So he is a pioneer and HIV and AIDS activist. He was a key figure in raising awareness with HIV and AIDS, particularly within the Black LGBTQ plus community, and at a time when resources and representations were like really scarce. And yeah, we need more of that. So it's just to bring this up in a time where we kind of need it most now, especially with the state of the world. I think it's really important. So that's mine.
Absolutely. So mine is Alan Bell was an editor at Black Magazine. He was also the creator of that magazine, and he actually got Patti LaBelle on the cover. So I thought that was like a cool little fun fact. He had to be super well connected to get this is Patti LaBelle. Like
Yeah.
it's nice to know that like the girls was right, like the gays of yesteryear, they had their icons and
Yeah.
who was riding for them and putting on for them. And you know, this was a time where gayness was a lot more vilified than it is now. So shout out to Patti LaBelle and shout out to Alan Bell.
Period. Mine is that he was a champion for Black LGBTQ plus representation through his magazine and other media efforts. He worked to ensure that Black queer voices were heard and that their unique experiences were recognized in broader discussions on LGBTQ plus rights.
Period. And last but not least, mine is that he was an advocate for intersectionality, and he really just pushed for the recognition of how race, sexuality, and public health intersected.
Yeah, so I thank you. This will be really fun. I'm excited to see how it's going to grow and like who we come up with, because there's so many lanes that we can go into, not just about like health or like magazine, you know, it's like social, it's so many things. But yeah, I'm really excited for this new segment. And now we're going to get into the top of the episode where we're basically going to be discussing, you know, things that like we probably don't understand as much with the gay community, or like how to make it better in a sense, and how we can like grow from that. So I do want to go around the table, maybe starting with Macy.
Yeah.
And one thing that you feel is wrong with the Black gay community.
So one thing that I feel like that the Black gay community needs to work on is competition. I feel like, you know, in life, we're always in competition. We're in competition for resources. Everybody trying to get food, everybody trying to get air, everybody trying to get water, try to get a house, try to get a car. We're all in competition. And that trickles down into other areas of our lives. So, yeah, I feel like Black gays, we're always in competition with each other. And we need less of that and more camaraderie and more solidarity and advocating for each other. And less, you know, seeing each other as a threat and actually seeing each other as like an ally.
Yeah, I do feel like that's such a thing now too, like just the rise of social media. I feel like I talk about this a lot on the podcast, but I think the rise of social media just makes people feel like they need to compete more to be like the next best thing. Where it's like, bitch, there's room for all of us. It's like we all not even trying to do the same thing.
Right.
But it can come off that way because everything is seen as a competition or like I'm better than you.
Yeah, but even if like you are doing the same thing, I think it's okay to recognize that everybody does it differently.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that they need to work on, because it's like, yes, y'all could be doing the same thing, but nobody's trying to eat off your plate. Like, they're trying to make their own.
And helping somebody else isn't gonna take your shine away, you know?
Exactly.
I think a lot of people feel like they don't want to help people because they want to have the spotlight on them.
Yeah, definitely. Sakani?
For me, I would say that there's a lot of internalized homophobia within the Black gay community, starting with them not being able to show their feminine side, or, you know, being uncomfortable around other Black gays who are comfortable showing their feminine side, or, yeah, that's mine.
Agreed. Mine is grooming. I just think I've experienced it firsthand. I have a lot of friends who have as well. And now that I am like a grown ass man, I just find it so weird, you know, like I would never be interested in talking to someone who is young. It just doesn't like, even like early 20s to me, I'm just like, I feel like we're so like, it's like I can always tell almost when someone's in their early 20s from like conversation or the things they like, even how people decorate their rooms, you know, like I'm just like, it gives young, which is fine, but those aren't the things I'm attracted to. And I find it crazy that there was a point in time where I was a teenager and there was a grown ass man like
willing
you know,
to just,
because I wasn't that grown. Like I was definitely like
Yeah.
interested in kid things. So I think that's just a big problem in the Black gay community. I think Black gay families have a problem with sweeping stuff like that under the rug when there's pedophiles in the family. And yeah, I just think like that stigma needs to be broken and people need to stop being creeps.
Yeah.
Agreed. Let's take it a step further. What age were you and how old was the guy you dated when you first dated someone older?
I want to say maybe like my first, and maybe not dating, but like texting and like hanging out.
Yeah.
I was probably like 14 and well, I don't want to talk about that.
Why are you staring at me?
No, I'm just like, oh shit, I can't. It's
Well,
not,
just say his age.
I think he was like late 20s.
Okay.
Like late
That's
20s.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like at that point, I think it also comes to a point where we thought that shit was cute and like being fast was like cute, especially it's like, yeah, I got an older nigga on my
I don't
line.
think that you were being fast.
Well, I'm saying that in a sense of like,
in your
You
mind,
actually
you're
don't
not
believe
seeing
in
the wrong
being
in it.
fast.
Like
yeah, I didn't see wrong in
you
what I
don't feel
was
like
doing
you're getting
either.
groomed.
Like, but
yeah.
it was like, I think this is also it can be a little touchy because I'm like, I don't know.
How old were you?
I never had an experience like this in person, but over like social media apps. I and like I would talk to older guys that was clearly inappropriate, but I would say like 16 is when yeah.
Yeah. I think I was 15 turning 16, and then I was talking to this 25-year-old.
Yeah, I think it was 16 for me too. And I don't even know exactly how old he was, but that nigga had gray hair. So he was definitely like, it gave me like 40s for sure. Like I feel like the youngest was probably like late 30s.
Okay, and wait, they were all aware of your ages.
Correct.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes.
So these are
He met me with a
certified-
group of my friends.
these
That's
are
the craziest part.
certified
Certified pedophile.
This whole episode is like an intervention with the gay community.
Yeah.
Like, sit down.
So if any of what we talk about is you, we need you to look inward, get some help.
Yeah. That's the first step, you know.
Yeah.
But I think we all have things that I mean, none of us are pedophiles, but we all have things that you know, I don't even chop.
Go ahead.
Like in a sense that
Oh no, I mean
Exactly.
yeah, I agree with all of y'all. I was gonna say definitely like, yeah, I don't have nothing to really add. I agree with everything y'all said, to be honest. I just think there's a lot we can learn from conversations like this because there's no conversations like this being had, and if it is, it gets very censored and like kind of gotta watch what you say. Even I call myself doing that just now. Like I gotta like you gotta watch the wording of it.
So we asked a couple of our audience what they thought was wrong with the Black gay community. So let's shout out a couple of y'all. So one that stuck out to me was at the Vinny. That's TheeVnie. And you said the redefining of Black masculinity and discrimination against trans folk globally. And that really stuck with me because in the entire world, when you hurt one minority group, they just go to the next one and go to the next one and go to the next one. You have to stand up for even the groups of people that don't apply to you, or they'll be coming for you next. So whether that's, you're poor, Black, brown, trans, gay, lesbian, whatever, Italian, it doesn't matter. Whenever you see another minority group being oppressed, you have to make a stand. And yeah.
Good job. I'm shouting out Avery Blunt. He said, "We forget our power too easily and give ourselves away in the name of attraction. He's trash, baby."
I do that.
That's like a sermon.
Yeah, well, we've all been there before, and I agree. That's why that one stuck out to me. So yeah.
I'll say mine. This is by Lau Bishop, and he says, "I think the paradox of choice is a major issue, and I absolutely agree. I think just being Black and gay and knowing like you're attractive, there comes with like the attention that comes with that too. And it's like, I always have a choice. I always have an option. But in reality, we actually don't. And I think it's also like the fantasy of wanting to have so many options too, which I feel like I fell victim to for a long time. And I'm trying to like get out of that habit of feeling like I have so many options around me.
It's such an illusion. Yeah,
because it's like, it's also just not, it's not realistic. And it doesn't feel good too when it's like, oh, I have so many options, but I don't want any of y'all. I want one person.
I was thinking, Sex and the City, Carrie, somebody had said on the show that you only get 2 great loves. I'm
Charlotte.
like, I think I'm already out.
That's not true.
That is not true.
I mean, thinking that way sometimes too.
I've been deep in love twice. So
No. Yeah, I think there's a healthy balance with that though, with you knowing your worth and not sticking around for something that doesn't benefit you. Yes, there are more choices for you out there that will be better than what you're in now. But I agree with what you're saying. Sometimes
I think sometimes the grass ain't greener on the other side.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have to appreciate what's in front of you.
Correct.
And grow with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's necessary.
Water that.
Exactly. Ja?
So Jordan Braveheart, he said DLs. That was it. And I think that's
Capital
such
letters.
like
DLs.
I just think it's such like a complicated conversation almost because it's not something I advocate for or support, but I completely understand why people are DL, so especially in the Black gay community, like especially coming from a Black family, like that was Christian and homophobic, like it is a lot to deal with. And regardless, like even though there is a lot of community, when you don't have that community yet, you're going to face scrutiny, so it's just a lot. I feel for them sometimes. Like I hate seeing people get outed in a bad way where they didn't really do anything wrong, and I just think it's like a very like nuanced conversation.
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent because there are some DLs who take advantage of people who are out and are like looking for love or like.
No, definitely.
You shouldn't. Personally, I don't think you should look for love with a DL man. But, it happens to where, like, some people fall in love with them and they just, like, no, like, we're not about to do that. So I think they need to not let it get so far to that point.
Yeah.
Both parties.
I feel like it can be unattainable sometimes too. If you too far in already and like feelings are attached, it's like it's harder to like cut it off if there's like it's like, oh shit, like I can't cut this off right now. And it's like, how do you,
because you're already in it. And sometimes things don't, that was never a conversation that we're becoming a couple. We were just chilling, getting to know each other.
Yeah, that's why communication is very important, especially dealing with the DL, because if you get attached and that nigga is already moving on to the next
But sometimes
one.
they be getting attached.
Yeah.
They don't want to go nowhere.
So I totally, when you were saying about DLs, you totally understand how it happens, where it comes from, and how hard it is. I totally understand that part. What my problem is with the DLs of today is they act like that they're somewhat better than people
because
who
they're
are
not out.
Yeah, they act like that there's an air of masculinity there, and they act like that. Even in all the Twitter porn that we see, it's always DL this.
Those captions, oh my goodness.
This, stepbrother, like straight,
my sister, baby dad,
straight this, straight that. I'm like, this is make believe. Both of y'all are gay, and you posted it on Twitter. What's DL about that?
I kind of like the DL captions.
Don't get me wrong, I love the fantasy of it online.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like the
but
fantasy.
it's just a fantasy.
Exactly.
And when it trickles into real life, it just gets really like.
I never really think it's real. Like, I be feeling like this somebody, like, I don't know. I never really did give into the captions like, oh my God, he getting all these DL niggas. Like, it give me like storyline for the video.
Yeah,
like,
selling the fantasy.
Period. I think this would tie into, honestly, kind of, I don't know if it ties directly into attention-seeking behavior, but I really want to know y'all thoughts on how attention-seeking behavior can like do you feel like that's a problem in the gay community, and how do you feel like we can like navigate out of that into a more healthier version of ourselves? Yeah,
it's more prominent on Twitter to me. Like, I see it often on Twitter where guys are like, what the fuck do they say? You'll see something like, I can't think of one right now.
I could think of one like, oh, I'm just so horny. It's 8 a.m. My dick is just so bricked up in the office. Like,
the brick emoji.
Oh, you can see. I saw one yesterday. You can see my dick through my pants. I don't got no drawers on at work.
Alt for alt?
Yeah, alt for alt.
Yes. Or like.
Just post it.
Or like.
Post your cock.
My dick is so big, or like,
yes,
just things like that where it's like, okay, what do you want us to do with this information?
I think it's becoming a problem of like oversharing as well, and that is becoming something that is like really, we need to go back to keeping some things, just shut your mouth.
I'm so 50-50 on it. A year ago, right? Say it like I'm in a mood, I would post something freaky on Twitter, but like it wouldn't be like my everyday thing, you know? Like, but I get it in the sense that like I've been there to like post some horny shit and like get someone to DM me.
There's nothing wrong with seeking attention. We're all social beings.
Yeah.
You know, like we need human interaction. Sometimes you want some attention. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it becomes habitual and it becomes detrimental, that's when you need to take a step back and be like, maybe this doesn't serve me.
Yeah.
I agree. And there's other times where it's like, they'll be like, oh, I need a light-skinned man or something like that. And it's like, now you're going against like different, skin tones or now you're turning it into like, now this is colorism.
Yeah. And sometimes I feel like it's baity, but I think they be serious at the same time.
Yeah,
like they mean that, but they also know how much traction this is about to get.
And that's like the attention seeking that's bad.
Yeah.
I think that there's so much attention seeking on Twitter because that's what goes viral.
Yeah.
That's what gets the numbers.
Too.
That's what gets the followers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of them are just feeding into the social media.
Yeah.
But again, it's also like, what are you doing with those numbers? Like, this is just Twitter. You're not like this.
Are you monetized?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't. I don't know. I just think like on Twitter, it's just like, what are these numbers doing for you at the end of the day?
I think, well, when Twitter first came out, or when it was like maybe like early 2000s or like 2015 and things like that, I was on Twitter a lot more, and I definitely would like talk more shit on there, but I just don't see it as that for me anymore. Like, I just don't want to share a lot of shit on Twitter anymore, because it just feels like so open, and then everyone always has something to say.
Oh my God.
And the thing is, I just feel like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, good.
Just like with what we want to do and like how big we want to be, like I used to talk so much shit on Twitter. Like I never said nothing. Like I don't have anything that I'm like, I'm going to get canceled like immediately for that. We'll debrief after. But nothing like when I
scrub.
I've said some things about celebrities, but I've never said nothing about like cultural or
Or
like
colorism
sexist
or-
or
yeah.
colorist. Like, so I just think like I mostly just tweet random thoughts, like, because I just feel like I never want the wrong thing to be said,
Yeah.
and like this is on my digital footprint for the rest of
Right.
my life, and
Mhm.
it affects my career as a podcaster and as a music artist. You
Mhm.
know,
Absolutely. I think also creatively speaking, do you feel like there's a difference between like seeking validation in these moments too, whether it's like creating art and like what does your art look like, and do you feel like that is coming down to like attention seeking behavior or like seeking validation in the wrong ways? And I don't know, it's such an interesting topic because as we know, like OnlyFans is such a thing and people use OnlyFans as like art in a sense, and not quotations for that because it can be art. But do we feel like there's a difference between like the validation of that, or is it like just attention seeking behavior?
it all depends, because when you first started asking the question, I thought of my music, but I think it
Mhm.
like because even everybody's doing something for a reason, you
Yeah.
know. So it's like, yeah, they might love the attention they get from OnlyFans, but they could have started it because they needed money. You
Yeah,
know,
mhm,
like
exactly.
I feel like when it comes to me with music, I love to make music, so I would do it regardless. But when people tell me they like what I'm doing and shit, like that shit makes me feel amazing. I'm like,
Mhm.
bitch, I need to make another song like this. Like they're
Mhm,
eating this
mhm.
up. So I think attention, the validation from attention can lead you to make better things sometimes, you know?
Absolutely. I like that. I like that point of view because I feel
Mhm.
even with my art, I feel like it's not the most like it's not generic of any kind. I don't think any of us make anything like that. And it's very expressive, and just the way we all go about our art. Sometimes you do need the attention to get the
Cool.
thing you
Yeah.
need. Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta like put yourself out there. Like honestly, you gotta have kind of like a viral moment in
Mhm.
order to get that like funding for something.
Yeah.
And I think that's also what we're kind of going through right now too, like
Mhm.
trying to figure out what will get us like up there.
Yeah.
And it's a process, and yeah.
But I think it's different when it's part of our careers.
Hmm.
Like we're trying to get our art out there. We're trying to get people to see what we do and to get booked.
Hmm.
I feel like the attention seeking and the outside validation, when it's just like you're just tweeting nonsense
For nothing.
for nothing. Like
Yeah.
you don't have a business, you don't have any type of art, you don't have like, you're not an entrepreneur, you're just out here posting shit just simply because you
Yeah.
can and because you know that is gonna get like 20K retweets or whatever.
I
Yeah.
think that's like the world we live in. Like
Yeah.
even with TikTok, people just posting like, you know, almost like satire. Like they're just completely lying, but it's so interesting. You're just like so drawn in. But it's
Yeah.
just like, what was the point of the story? And it was completely made up.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
Mhm.
I own businesses. I have kids in Uganda.
respect to the law.
Okay.
Respect to Allah.
So just to move forward, I feel like we honestly transition into like a more positive outline of, we want to be more uplifting and like, support our fellow peers and things like that. So in what ways do you feel like we can heal, empower, and uplift the Black community?
We're doing it right now.
Mhm.
Correct.
Agree.
That's true.
And I think us just creating this platform and, like just inspiring people and just having the conversations and that leading to other people having those conversations. I just think, just doing what we're doing and keeping our best foot forwards to like change the stigmas and the
Mhm.
conversations that are had in the Black community.
Yeah.
I think one way that we as Black gay people can support each other is intentionally supporting each other. Like buy some Black gay products. Buy the bag buy the t-shirt on Instagram from the Black gay creator. Stream some Black gay music.
Mhm.
Go to a Black gay art show. Support some Black gay anything. Just support, and also put money behind it if you can. Because money rules the world right now. So I think just being intentional, and yeah, even if you can't spend money, a retweet and a favorite goes a long way. It could get
I
that.
think so,
It could
yeah.
get that onto some other eyes, and just pay it forward.
Yeah, literally a simple share can literally change the trajectory of someone's life.
Mhm.
And I feel like it's so possible and tangible now, like in the rise of social media, like there's so many different platforms that people can create on. And yeah, it's only going to get better. But I feel like with each of us, like we all do things like separately, and we all like put in work to just create more positive spaces. And I feel like none of us like will ever want to do something that will negatively affect ourselves or like the group or even our
Mhm.
friends. Like I don't feel like we
Yeah.
hang around negative people.
Mm-mm.
So it's like I think we're always trying to spread light. For the most part,
Right,
we
Macy
don't-
over here like,
Let me think about that.
We'll chat off cam.
Yeah, I agree with all of you. And I think another thing, a lot of people need to get into therapy and just
We've been saying that since season 1.
yes, just counseling.
stand by that.
Because it's like you could live your life the way you want, but when you start hurting other people, that's when it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I think having therapy or counseling or just talking to someone can help you in
Yeah.
a way that you didn't imagine. So
Yeah, I also think creating healthy habits too, like going to the gym or like not to be like a fitness guru, but like do things that make you feel good and like happy, but not in a like you don't want to do something that's like negatively affecting things. If
Yeah,
that makes sense. Like
journaling,
yeah.
gym.
Bitch, get a hobby.
like,
Too many of you
oh.
bitches be online all day, every day. Bitch, go start gardening. Start
Correct.
boxing.
Get on Duolingo.
Something, bitch.
Okay.
Read a
Learn
book.
a new
Yeah,
language.
When's the last-
Language,
When's the last time
bitch.
you read a book? When? Put it in the comments.
let's talk about that.
We're being so aggressive.
Because they need it. They need tough love. We were being all nice for a second.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Now, hold on.
no, wait a minute. Hold
Now
up.
wait a minute, glasses.
So on that note, I think this was a really great first episode, and I'm really happy to
Yes.
be back with you guys.
So happy to be back with you
Yes,
guys.
we're doing it.
hands,
And-
hands.
Wait, but we have an audience question really quickly. So the question is, do you have any advice for people in their 20s who are struggling with coming out and or living more authentically? It feels so difficult when you spend your whole life suppressing and building yourself into someone that does not want to attract attention to themselves. Thanks and loving the podcast. It's a mouthful.
I
Want me to
guess
repeat
I
it?
kind of technically came out in my 20s, like to the public, but everybody who knew me knew.
Mhm.
And I think I just did it so like I went to Pride. Like me and Mia, I went to Pride. I want to say it was 2019. And yeah, I just posted a picture at Pride. It got the most likes of any picture I've ever posted. Like I didn't even say nothing. Like, and I was just, but in my mind, it was such like a easy way to go about it. Like I didn't have to, cause it's like I wanted to like make a status or like make an announcement and be like, but I just felt like I don't have to do that for anybody else, you know? And no shade, a lot of people already knew, but it was just like, I don't know. It was just like I kind of went at my own pace with it. Like I was already seeing guys before I like did that or like posted the picture. Like I went at a pace that was comfortable for me. And I feel like once I got more gay friends and there were just more community in my life, it was just easier. It just felt like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, you know? And I felt like I was suppressing myself for so long. But I would just say going at my own pace and having community to make me like more comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
Agreed. I would say community and also not necessarily feeling like you need to come out. Like you can just be who you are
Mhm.
and
To your
you don't have to make you don't have to make like this big announcement of, oh, like, hi, I'm gay. Like heterosexual people don't need to do that, so neither do we. But I think just being more open about who you are just will help you within.
Mm-hmm. I think you also got to be like kind of confident in a way to like go find more community that will
Mhm.
help you with that too. Like even the transition of coming out. I don't have experience of coming out in my 20s because I was out in high school. So
Me too.
it can be a little I don't have all the answers for that because I know it's also different like coming of
Yeah.
age and being like more of an adult and kind of having to like get that backlash sometimes with like family and like friends. But yeah, I feel I have friends that have come out like later in life and it doesn't make you any less gay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No shade. It's just like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I think people that support you and love you and root for you always will. It's not that big of a deal. Like you're not any less of a person just because you're gay. So don't let
Correct.
anyone ever tell you that you're not.
And I feel like I'm always saying this, but like you can find community on social media. Me and
Mhm.
Macy met on Instagram. I just DM'd
Yeah.
him. We went to the gym together.
I think we all kind of did. Like we all met
yeah,
on
and we
social media.
just I feel like, you know, just kind of take everybody's it worked for us, you know, not saying that everyone's gonna be friendly and nice, but like
Mhm.
we are in that day and age where you might be in a town where there are no gay clubs or something like that, you know, like, so if you have to utilize social media, I would just say don't be afraid to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, yeah.
It sounds like this person really wants to come out and be in it and be proud of it. So I'm thinking like learn your history, learn the lingo, learn about the people who fought for our rights, learn how far we've come, and go out, go to the gay clubs, go to the gay pride, do some what's those little like singles, the gay singles things. Go to some of those.
Matchmaking kind of thing.
Just
Yeah.
have fun with it. Like, don't treat
Mhm.
it all serious. Like, your life's gonna change. Have fun.
Yeah.
Get involved with like your local LGBT center. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's literally about being fun. So, well, having fun and being fun too, though.
Yeah.
So check back in. Let us know how that goes for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
please.
Yes, and thank you guys for coming to episode 1. And yeah, this is the end of the episode.
Amen.
That
Busy
was
boys
awkward.
out.
Busy boys out.